Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's market color recap brought to you by yours truly, the Value Flow Trading team. My name is CJ, and I'm going to be taking you through the market color for today. And alongside with me, we have Lake Condemola Cynthia, who are going to be joining us today on the market color for our analysis as we look through the major currency pairs and indices to share with you what they have been doing all through the week and what we expect them to do for the remaining parts of today as we wrap up this month of August. It's been a wonderful time sharing our trades with you all through the month, and we hope that in the coming month we'll also do what we have been doing and always make profits out of it. Let's head straight into the chart without wasting much of our time. So whether you're watching us from London, Tokyo, New York, or Lagos, this is the market color brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team. Now let's start off with gold against the dollar. Now this week gold has been kind of indecisive, but then overall, due to the strength in the dollar, gold has been making some upward move, some downward move rather, as we have seen the week going. Starting from on Monday here, where we saw price made this move all the way to the upside, and then a midweek reversal ensued on Tuesday, where we had price dropping all the way downwards. However, right now, gold is looking indecisive. If you're looking at yesterday's chart into today, you see how gold has broken this low and then struggled to break any further. If we run our dollar analysis, which we're going to be having very soon, you would see what the dollar has been doing relative to other currencies, and then you see what gold is also doing. This morning, gold is not looking to follow what others has been doing so far, and it's a bit concerning because very interestingly, we would always want to see gold follow the other trading pairs or the other dollar pairs, but right now it's not doing so. And it's a bit of a wonder, and we want to be able to be at the edge of it when it finally starts to drop. Today, we're expecting some news releases around 3 p.m. The Fed chair, Kevin Walsh, is going to be speaking today. And then there's also going to be Jackson's symposium, which started yesterday, I think. Yeah, and we're going to be rolling into today. So today we're going to be paying attention to the news, especially during the New York session, because we're expecting interpretation of the US fundamentals in terms of inflation, in terms of interest rates, and the Fed chair is going to be speaking to give us some outlook on that. As that happens, we're going to be watching the charts to see what is going to play out when that happens. Now, if you're looking back to gold, if you're looking at gold this morning, you see that gold has not made a strong move yet to the downside, unlike other currencies like GBP US we're going to analyze shortly. We expect it to drop afterwards because the bias for the dollar is a sell. Gold is just reacting off something that's not so solid. We're not looking at a strong move on gold moving to the upside right now. We just want to see how gold is going to play out. All the while, you've seen how this how gold has been reacting from this retracement back to the downside. We want to see it continue so and play out all the way, taking out the next low, which is right here. So this is the next level I'm expecting gold to take out. Okay, so I'm expecting gold to take out this low to the downside. This is the next thing I'm expecting there. If you go to the lower time frame, you see that gold also has not been given a strong move to the downside as we expected. We're seeing all right, sorry about that. Okay. All right. So we're seeing how gold has been making moves to the upside in just the last 1 hour. And at this point, gold is looking like a safe haven because of uncertainties once again in the market. Now, gold is trading at around 4,600 ounce at this period, and we're looking at interest rates coming out. We're looking at currency concerns, and then not just the interest rate that has been released, we're looking at the further expectations of interest rates moving into the new month, what is going to be happening, what will be driving the market at this period. So at this point, gold is looking like a safe haven. So we are seeing more buys on gold than sells, and the sell-off on the dollar is now looking to be reactionary compared to what's happening on gold. So let me explain what that means. On the dollar, we've been having sales on the dollar, which is more of the particular trend which we have seen the dollar follow. Now, the dollar started buying this week or sometime last week as well, because there is a retracement. We've seen quietness and the market looks to be retracing on the dollar. Now, we're expecting further sales, and gold is already picking that out. When we analyze the US currency pairs, like GBP US and Euro US, we get no interpretation on that. So I'm taking out my time to explain to you guys what is happening on gold so that you are not lost. All right, so gold at this point looks to be resting off this sell. Originally, we expected it to give a very deep retracement somewhere around here, but you can see that it is now moving back to the upside. We expected it to get all the way to 61.8 or this 78.6 region, but you can see that at this 50%, it is finding support, and this 50% price point is somewhere around 4,500. So gold is looking to be shying off this particular price point. We expect it to continue selling to the downside, moving into the remaining part of the day. But overall, gold is a safe haven currency, so we are not expecting it to play out like the other currency pairs. I take that again. Gold is playing out as a safe haven currency right now. We're not expecting it to play out like the other pairs that are looking to sell off on the dollar. Okay, right. So what are the trades we're going to be looking out for today? Now you can see the sweet move that gold just played out right here on the daily time, on 5 minutes time frame right here. You can see how that gold is buying off this particular left shoulder here. Overall, we're expecting it to continue, but then we're not expecting another strong push just like we had around the 7 o'clock hour mark. So we're expecting a retracement after this move that has happened. We're expecting another round of retracement, and then price should possibly remain inside this range until probably New York, and then we'll see the final push to the upside. Seeing that gold is reacting this way, I have a couple of places that I'm expecting the retracement to come to when it finally happens. So first is this region right here. Second is this particular region right here. So I have these 2 points of interest on gold this morning. When I see gold return into here, I'll look for an entry signature that shows me that price is reversing back to the upside. If that doesn't happen, then I'll look for another one right here. So these are the 2 places I'm expecting to see a buy on gold for this morning. So my overall bias is a buy, and these are the 2 points of interest that I have. Now, quickly, if you look at the yen pairs, first off, starting off with the yen basket, you'll see that the yen has been bearish, and it has clearly indicated so for the past couple of days now. And we're just going to be going bullish on yen pairs at this time. You can see how far it has sold. And one of the places we're expecting it to get to is this overall low. But then before that, we're expecting a reaction from this particular point here. So somewhere around here, we might be seeing a reaction of the yen pair, making a move possibly to the upside from somewhere around here. So this is what I'm looking out for on the yen pair, a buy from here. Okay, more like a reaction, not like a change of trend. A reaction here, possibly to the upside, and then continuation to the downside. Now let's move to GBP JPY. Now for GBP JPY, we've seen that it has concluded that retracement after price got to this previous support right here, the previous resistance right here, and formed the support. Right now, I'm bullish on GBP JPY and I expect it to continue buying all the way to the upside. Now we'll start looking out for buy entry signature on GBP JPY to show up, and then we'll be taking our trade. To the upside. Yeah, we'll be taking our trade to the upside once GBP shows up the buy entry signature. So I'm bullish on GBP right now. I'm waiting for the buy. Now, if you look closely on GBP you can see that price has taken out the low of the Asian session, right? Having given us a buy sign, that's taken out the Asian session on the low, and now we're expecting a buy signature to the upside, and then be taking out GBP buy. Now you can see right here that price is giving a bullish engulfing candle on the 5 minutes time frame. So this could be our first attempt at the GBP buy somewhere around here. And then we're going to be having, of course, a stop loss that is going to give us enough room for price to move. Okay, so from somewhere around here, seeing where price is at this moment, you can see the bullish engulfing. So we can get our entry from here, and then our stop loss about 15 pips. Our take profit is going to be somewhere around 45 to 50 pips. Okay, so I'm targeting this low here, so that I will make sure that I get at least 1:3 on this trade. So this is GBP buy setup. I'm expecting it to play out accordingly. Now, lastly, let's look at Euro JPY before we look at the US currency pairs. Now, for Euro JPY, overall, we're expecting it to resume the uptrend, having given us this strong downtrend. Our price didn't break and close below here. So we're expecting the uptrend to continue on Euro JPY. Now, for GBP JPY, we're expecting to play catch up compared to Euro JPY. So you're seeing Euro JPY stop around here because it has already given us the buy that we expected. Now, if you juxtapose GBP JPY and Euro JPY, you see that GBP JPY has not bought yet as much as Euro JPY has. So for Euro JPY, we're expecting it to just range a little and then continue to the upside. So for me, I would want to see a clear move to the upside. Now, if you look at Euro JPY as well on the 1 hour time frame, you see that price struggles to break the main lows. Look at what I mean by the main lows, this particular point here. And then you can see this next low here. Price is struggling to break them. So for me, I'll be looking for a buy signal on Euro JPY. Once I see it creating a fresh buy trend, I'll be looking to take my entry on that and then executing a buy. But because I now have, I'm going to be having a GBP JPY position running, I'll just watch Euro JPY to give me a signal as to when to stay and when to leave my GBP JPY position. So overall, on Euro JPY and GBP JPY, I'm looking out for a buy on gold this morning as well. I'm looking out for a buy. So these are the two trades that I'm expecting to cover this morning across board. All right, so we're going to take a quick duration and we're going to look at synthetic indices quickly, and then we're going to come back and continue with other currency pairs. So to share his thoughts and bias on synthetic indices, we're going to be having Lakon join us this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you, CJ, for that analysis. That was very insightful. So this morning, we are moving straight into the synthetic market to see what is going on in the market. So far, so good. Now for the synthetic market, starting with VIX75 itself, and if you look at it from the daily time frame, price has just been consolidating so far for the past few days now. We've not really seen a clear direction where VIX75 is heading to since last week. Even on Monday during the analysis, we're expecting price to come and clear the lows, then we pick a clear direction. But right now, price has just been sitting within a range, and we expect to see a breakout anytime soon. So let's go to the lower time frame to see where exactly is it right now. So in the course of the range, we are in the premium zone of the range, in the equilibrium part of the range. If we look at it between this top and this bottom, we are just in between, and we are even in the range of the range, if there's anything like that, the midpoint rather. Yeah, so all we need to do is to see price take out all this low. We are still waiting until price take out all this liquidity, then we begin to look for buy opportunity around this zone. Or if for any reason price buy all the way to this top, then we look for opportunity to join to start selling from this POI the top here. Seeing well that we have our shoulder already at this point, and price already swept liquidity at this particular level here. So we expect that when price pull back all the way into this POI, then we look for opportunity to short with 75 index. And if it clears all the liquidity below here too, and trade into this POI, we also look for opportunity to long it back up. So our outlook is between this range. So we buy at discount and we look for opportunity to sell at premium. All right, so that is for V75 index. Let's quickly take it a step further to V75 1S. Now, V75 1S on the other hand, we've seen that our price on the daily time frame now has given us a clear market structure shift, which has been what we've been expecting. If you look at it, we've seen this is the last high that was taken out, and now we've seen a clear market structure shift. First, this low, then now we have the second low. So all we are expecting to see now moving forward is sell structures for V75 1X. All right. So we're expecting to see price, take further lows. Now that price has already created this and we are looking forward to a pullback, meaning this high must be taken out for V75 1S. And if you look out for it on the 4-hour time frame, you're going to agree with me that this pullback is just still within the equilibrium level. If we draw our Fibonacci 2 for this particular swing, you see it's just more of an equilibrium level. But we expect price to retrace all the way into a premium level so that we can look for opportunity to sell. In a nutshell, what we're looking out to see is when price pull back all the way to this 4-hour for the sell of V75 1S. But we won't just hold our hands to wait until that happens, right? And what I would advise to do, the first thing is looking out to see price reaction at this particular point, at this liquidity level here, the point here. So when we see price take out liquidity and we go to a lower time frame and we begin to see market structure shift, we can now begin to start selling V75 1S to the downside. All right, and if not, we are going to wait until we see price trade into the premium zone, then we take the full sell of V75 1S. All right, now let's go to the lower time frame to look, since we won't just wait for price to buy all the way to this level, then we will now start selling. Let's look if we have any opportunity to join the sell moving forward. Now, right about now, there's no any sell opportunity on buy opportunity right now on the 751S. All I'm seeing is price creating structure for more. Okay, now looking at this last swing to the downside, I'm of the opinion that there is probability for price to sell further to the downside, looking at what we have currently on board. All right, now let's check that on the lower time frame. If we see any sell opportunity, we did know there is no any sell entry yet now for this 75 1S. So I would advise, let's wait, hold your end and see what price does when it finally buy to this point. Then we look for set opportunity to the downside. But if it doesn't give us any entry around this zone, then we wait for the 4-hour time frame for price to trade into this order block on the 4-hour. Then we can now begin to short it a long time. But the structure is now very much clear on the daily time frame that now we are now in a bearish market because we already have a clear market structure shift. All right, so lastly, for this 10 index, if you look at it on the daily time frame, you are going to agree with me that we've seen a very clear move to the downside, how that price has been creating lower lows and lower high. However, this happens to be the most recent low that we have around this zone. This is the most recent low here. So what exactly should we now look out for? And we are seeing a pattern here looking more like a bullish engulfing at this particular point. All right, so let's go to the lower time frame to see what is going on at that level. Okay, so it becomes much clearer if you look at it from the 1-hour perspective. For 1-hour time frame, you are going to agree with me that we have is a bit tricky, but it is clear this low is lower than this, so this is more of a sweep of liquidity. Price has swept this low out. As you can see, price has swept this low out and we have this liquidity at this point. So in a nutshell, my own outlook for this 10 index is that price should retrace all the way into this order block. When price retraces into this order block, then we look for buy opportunity. Price retracing into this one order block does not simply say we pull trigger, but we look out for our entry signature when price trade into this order block, because there is probability for price taking out this liquidity, the low of this order block. What I'm trying to say in a nutshell is there's probability we see price come all the way, take out this low, then we begin to see the massive buy to the upside. But all things being equal, this low should be respected for this 10 index. So we should see price respect this low. Not sure what we want to see is price doing something of this nature. The whole of this place is a buy zone from this level to this liquidity zone, right? While our stop loss would be just few pips below here, and we target our 1:2 or 1:3. All right, so that is it for the synthetic indices this morning. Remember, the market is open 24/7, so in case you want to trade in the course of the weekend, you have the full opportunity for you to make decision and take your trades. All right, that is going to be all. We'll be going straight into the analysis of the other currency pair. Thank you. Cheers. God bless.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Lekon, for that precise analysis. And I hope that we all took note of the various POIs as to where we want to take opportunities from. Market, like you said, the synthetics market is opened even during the weekend. So when the forex market closes today, you can always look out for opportunities in the synthetics market. So let us head straight to our analysis for today, and I'm going to be pulling off my screen. We're starting off with DXY to see what the market has for us today. Beg your pardon. All right, so I believe we can see my screen. On the weekly time frame for DXY, as we all know, if you've been following this analysis for a period of time, we're looking out for price to trade into 107.490 shoulder sweep break, return right back into this left shoulder, and we want to keep selling DXY. And on the daily time frame, let's see what daily time frame has for us. It's quite sketchy, right? And very dicey. But as we can see, this low has been taken out and we're seeing some push to the downside. Even this previous low has already been taken out on daily time frame. Heading to the 4-hour time frame, fibbing the most recent swing from point A to point B, we can see right here that price actually tapped into 50% fib level, filled out this fair value gap, and we should see some reaction to the downside. So I'm of the opinion that DXY wants to continue the move to the downside on the 4-hour time frame and even on 1-hour time frame. Right, this has been filled. We should see some reaction of that point all the way to the downside. So all we're interested in doing is looking out for entries for the sell of DXY. Right, on the 15-minute time frame based on the classic box pattern, there is nothing here for us, but I am of the opinion that this liquidity right here at 99.671 should be grabbed before the continuation of the sell to the downside. So we do nothing right now because there's no entry on DXY for the sell, but we are bearish on DXY. In GBP USD weekly time frame, as we all know, we are looking out for price to eventually sell into this level, 1.24683. But the most recent price action seems to be in the range. The weekly time frame for GBP USD is actually a ranging market. So we should see an eventual break out of this range into this POI that we've been looking at for a period of time now. This is going to take place over an extended period of time, as we should know. So on daily time frame for GBP USD, we're actually seeing that price tapped into this left shoulder at 1.3319, right? And we saw this move, this push to the upside. So I'm actually looking out for buy opportunities on GBP USD. If we come to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that price has actually traded into this high. This is a flip zone where resistance has become support, and we're looking out for price to keep buying to the upside. Come to the 1-hour time frame, pretty much the same thing. Price has filled this gap, traded into this high, has become a flip zone, and we should see some push to the upside. So we're looking out for entry opportunities on the much lower time frame. We're looking out for opportunities to buy GBP USD, right, based on the classic box pattern, but I can't see anything right now for the buy of GBP USD, but have it in mind that we're looking out for buy opportunities, long opportunities on GBP USD. And if you're familiar with our entry pattern, which is the classic box pattern, you already know what you're looking out for based on that entry. On Euro USD, let's see what the market has for us on Euro USD. The weekly time frame, as seen right here, price is caught up in range, right? The most recent price action, but we're looking out for price to trade into this level. 1.06956, shoulder sweep break, return right back into this level, and we want to keep buying Euro USD. On the daily time frame, as seen right here, right, is the actual liquidity to be grabbed at this level, right? But I'm actually bullish on Euro USD because this previous high right here has already been taken out. There's been a break of structure. We're looking out for a retest for the continuation of the buy on Euro USD. On the 4-hour time frame, right? Looking out for price to trade into this high, where resistance should become support, and we'll keep buying Euro USD. We could see price filling up these gaps right here. This fair value gap, right? And this one right here. This one has already been filled. So we should see a further push to the downside for price to fill this second one and eventually trade into this high for us to keep buying Euro USD. This sell is actually a build of liquidity. We should see a grab to the upside. After this happened, price has traded into this level and this high at 1.16014. On the 15 minutes time frame, let's see if we can spot an entry. There is none yet. So my preferred buy for today will be that of GBP USD. And once my entry comes into fruition, I will do well to long GBP USD. And of course, when the entry plays out, we will do well to call it out in our VFT community. So tell a friend to sign up and be part of the VFT community. With that being said, let's head straight to the commodities market to see opportunities to be grabbed today. Good morning, Abigail.
Good morning, Cynthia. Thank you for that breakdown. So we're going to proceed to the commodity currency market to see the opportunities that present themselves this morning. Starting off with a look at USD CAD on the 4 hours time frame. So this week on Monday, we started waiting for retracements to happen following our minor structure that has been printed here. Then we prefer to see retracements into our most preferred zones and also highlighting that would be willing to take these buy opportunities should they present our specific characteristic patterns we want to see, to be able to benefit from the retracements that would happen on these asset classes. And surely price did buy as we expected it to, and is now currently involved with the points of interest, right? So for now, what am I seeing on USD CAD since that has already happened? Moving forward, I see that price is currently at the POI as I earlier stated. This is the previous support that could act as support again in the future. So right now, Sunshine also printed here, but it's on the 1 hour time frame. It is possible that we see more buys of USD CAD, a bit more buy maybe into this zone. is a previous support that can show resistance to continue the minor structure move to the downside. That is possible, but it is also very possible that we see USD CAD continue to sell from this zone. It is also possible that price could break through this zone and just continue to buy following the major structure, this major swing that we've had here for a while, right? The market is always a buy or sell opportunity, and what makes us take certain decisions is seeing specific characteristic patterns that we see play out in the market several times. Now, looking at this on the 1 hour, you see that I have marked out two zones, 1.39971 and 1.38598. When you go on H4, you'd also see that I marked out certain level points as well. This is liquidity on the downside. This is a bunch of diagonal liquidity. The price will trade lower to come and take off. And then this is also the major level I marked out on the higher or the upside. This supports turning possible resistance in sync with this indicator right here. So I'm basically saying there's liquidity here, there's liquidity here. Which of you is going to hold? And marking out these zones on each one. It's either you hold and continue to trade lower, or you break above retest and continue to buy into this one. On the 5-minute time frame, you'd also notice that we've marked out 4 major zones. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low, day before yesterday's high and low. These are now the major levels that we've marked out. And you see how price has now traded into yesterday's low right here, and it's already giving a lot of reactions. Now, if USD CAD happens to break below this level and violate this zone as well, then it's safe to say USD CAD has more room to continue to sell. Should it break through this and this? However, if this holds and breaks above 1.38598, then we'll be seeing more USD CAD buy resumed. How do we know they're going to hold characteristic patterns? If you're wondering what the characteristic patterns would mean for this strategy that now leads indicator base. Was I sharing my screen from the start? Okay, so it looks like I wasn't sharing my screen. Let me start from the top. Sorry about that. That was right. Okay, so as I was saying on USD CAD, H4 time frame, this is it right here, right? We said we expected USD CAD to give us buy opportunities for us to continue to sell with the minor structure that's been printed here. We went further to mark out this zone and mark out this zone. This is liquidity on the downside. There's a bunch of diagonal liquidity lying around here. That price will continue to trade lower to come and take. There's also liquidity on the upside, a bunch of liquidity lying around this zone, a previous support that could turn resistance. Price can trade higher to come and take this. Also pay attention to this indicator, which primarily serves as a pullback that can attract price to itself. Now, right now, we don't know which direction it's going to hold, so we go further down to each one to get a better review or a better picture of what could happen. On the H1 time frame, we marked out 1.39971 and 1.38598, right? Two major POIs. We're now saying price is currently at a major point of interest. Should this level hold, we see more break of USD CAD sales to downside. However, if USD CAD is able to break through the zone on H1, then we're targeting somewhere at 1.39971. When further down to the 5-minute time frame to mark out support and resistance levels that should either hold or be violated. Price is currently trading around our yesterday's low right here, giving reactions and traded back into the zone. Because it is currently here, this is why it explains why we're seeing this tiny sell that is happening right now because of the indicator it has gone to retest. So yesterday's high, day before yesterday's high, yesterday's low, day before yesterday's low, all marked out on the chart. If this gets violated to the downside, I'll be more bearish on USD CAD because you broke through what could have been a support, broke through another support. There's nothing else in your way because this is the 1 hour zone, it's trading below right now. So should you break this and break this, we're seeing more tanking of USD CAD. However, if this zone holds, what happens? The reverse is going to violate this to the upside, violate this to the upside, and this as well, trading into the 1 hour POI that we marked out at 1.39971. So this is what we're watching out for, right? Then we'll move to the next asset class, H4 of NZD-USD. NZD-USD primarily has been buying for a while. We expected this temporal sell to happen because of the indicator that was printed here, sunshine. Now, price has done this. Go down to the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, we've marked out our major POIs. Price is currently at the first one, which is 0.59572, second at 0.59194, and the third at 0.58538. 1, 2, and 3. So similar to what we did on USD CAD, if you violate this break below, we're coming here. Violate this break below, we are coming here as well. If you pay attention to the H1, you see that this sunshine is gradually printing lower and lower, right? Lower and lower. Took out this zone. If price is able to take out this zone right around here, then I'll be more bearish on NZUS temporarily also for now, till price eventually comes in here or comes in here, right? Okay, so back to NZUSD, what do we see again? Price, this level that sends price down is a major resistance zone that was crossed 1, 2, and this is the third time. So you see that it's coming from the very strong level. If should it continue to sell, we'll see violations of this zone. On the M5 time frame, this is the major zone. This is like triple confluence that I'm seeing right around this level. This is our 1 hour level that we marked out 0.59572. This is just the data currently being retested, and this is also the indicators also being retested at the same time. I want to believe that NZUSD is going to buy from here. It's going to buy from here, giving us somewhere about 20 pips, and we take profits. This strategy is beautiful for scalping. Quick in and out, and we're out of this market. Now, if price now breaks through this zone and trades below, then we know for sure that our buyers would now be what is sell targeting the next one, which is about 17 pips. And that's why I always talk about confirmatory characteristic patterns. I'm not just jumping in because it's testing this one. When I see the trigger that tells me to either enter for a buy or sell, best believe that is what I'm going to be doing. I'll be acting according to what the market is showing me. And then finally, AUD/USD on the H4 time frame. Predominantly, price has been buying, currently at a key zone. It's currently at a key zone right around here. If price breaks through this zone to the upside, the buy will continue. But before it does that, there's going to be retracement, sell retracement of AUD/USD into first POI at 0.71719, second POI at 0.71193, and 0.70345. Now, these are not specific price points, these are more of zones, but I try to use price points because I know not all of us have these indicators, and this is primarily for students of the academy. So these are zones. Price can literally just tap here and react from there, or tap here, or even down here and react from there. So it's not a specific price number that you're watching out for. And then moving to the 5-minute time frame, you see how price has broken below this zone. This was a resistance. Here should is high, right? Push price down, price has broken below. That's when we tested it when you zoom in, broke below, retested. So giving me more signs that AUD/USD is going to trade lower. Tap in here. Should you violate this zone, you're coming all the way here. This would be my most preferred level for it to get to, bearing in mind that there's something here to fight it, which is about 18 pips thereabouts. Now, because AUD/USD and NZUSD tend to move similar most of the time, I'll be watching to see which one holds and, picking my most preferred asset class. And that's pretty much it for today's analysis. I hope you got value from everything my colleagues and I have shared. If there's somebody who wants to learn how to trade, you should send us a WhatsApp message 081 6099 5030 and let us get you on board. Again, 081 6099 5030. We have a training coming up next week on the 21st of September. We will be doing a detailed breakdown of technical analysis, fundamentals, global macro, our in-house value flow model, sentiments, teaching you how to put all of this together to make money off this market. If you've also been following our social media platforms, you see the content we're putting out lately. If that's something you want to learn, I highly recommend that you take advantage of this training, as we don't know where the next one will hold, if it will even hold. This is a once in a very long time thing, and I highly recommend that you get on board today. With that being said, I remain Sabi Abi. Thank you for joining the session. See you next time. Cheers and God bless.